G'day and welcome back to RC Model Reviews. I've got to do a follow-up on this, the video monocle from Banggood. Banggood sent me this to review, and I did a little bit of a video on it before, pointing out some of the funny things like the fact that the wiring on the plug has got the wrong color for the wrong voltage. But I've taken it out and had a fly with it, and I was hoping that it would be an alternative for those of us who want to fly FPV without having to have a spotter around, because in this country, for example, we're legally required to have a spotter when flying FPV. So I thought if I could use this instead of a set of goggles, I can keep one eye on the model, visual line of sight, whilst also enjoying the FPV experience. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that well, not well enough to do that. I found that with this fitted to my plain glass glasses, which I bought for the purpose, I don't know whether it's my eyes, but the focal distance of this versus the actual model is slightly different. So I have to focus on one or the other. Now you might be able to change that by using a corrective lens in here, but I don't know. It's just, I wasn't able to get the desired overlap where I had the model and the video image sort of superimposed, which is what I hoped I would get, because it would make life much easier. No, it was a case of choosing either or. And so it just didn't provide the thing I was looking for. Also, I noticed that despite the fact I had tied the cable up on the side, in fact, just as well, eventually after a few minutes, this thing falls off. Even though it's got the little suction cups on there, they just don't hold on well enough to do the job. So you'd have to put a cable tie or something around there. It's going to get in the way. I don't know how you're going to secure it, but the little suction cups, they just don't work. Even when you lick on them, spit on them, gooby on them, they still don't stick long enough to do a full flight. Now, having said that, I flew fixed wing with this, and I was able to fly. I closed this eye and focused on this one. I could still fly perfectly fine. Resolution surprisingly good for what it is. It's not too bad at all. But it just meant that if I wanted to see the model, I had to open my other eye, and then I was having to try and focus on that, and I don't know, it depends which eye you're dominant on, I suppose, would have an effect. But yeah, suffice to say, it didn't provide the experience I was hoping it would, but it's not without its own merit. You could use it for framing up, if you're flying like a Phantom or a whatever, and you want to frame up a shot from your gimbal, then you could be using this eye to line the model up and then simply sort of concentrate through your other eye and do the framing. But to be honest, I'd say easy to use an LCD screen on your transmitter. And you can just hold your transmitter up. Then you can still see the model and see the LCD screen without having to, involve all the, oops, see, I told you it falls off, without having all the problems associated with this. So yeah, this is a really good idea. I'm afraid the implementation just doesn't deliver on the promise. That's the only thing. But yeah, would I spend $70 something on it? Probably not. Not now that I've seen it. So I'm afraid it's a bit of a lose for Banggood. It's just not really, doesn't deliver what's promised. Sad. I was hoping it would. Anyway, if you've got questions or comments on this thing, then please let me know in the section below the video provided by YouTube, and I'll do my best to answer them. If there's anything you specifically want to see in respect to this, then I'm happy to do a follow-up video, but I'm afraid it's just not the piece of ball guy where I was hoping for. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.